Imagine a chemical reaction that never reaches equilibrium, pulsating and oscillating between colors for hours on end. The Belousov-Zhabotinsky reaction, often simply referred to as the BZ reaction, is an intriguing anomaly in the realm of chemistry. Its discovery traces back to the mid-20th century when a biochemist named Boris Belousov was experimenting with a mix of chemicals. He observed a fascinating phenomenon, a reaction that refused to settle down. Instead of reaching a static equilibrium as conventional chemical wisdom would suggest, the reaction continued to oscillate, changing color rhythmically in a mesmerizing display. Belousov's discovery was initially met with skepticism. It seemed to contradict the second law of thermodynamics, which states that systems naturally evolve towards a state of maximum entropy, essentially a state of equilibrium. But Belousov was not mistaken. His observations were later confirmed by another Russian scientist, Anatol Zhabotinsky, who further investigated this peculiar reaction and gave it its full name, the Belousov-Zhabotinsky reaction. This chemical curiosity has since been recognized as the first discovered example of a class of reactions called oscillating chemical reactions. These reactions, rather than settling into a stable equilibrium, continue to evolve in time, oscillating between different states. The BZ reaction in particular is known for its striking visual display, oscillating between clear, amber, and a deep cerulean blue. The discovery of the BZ reaction was a significant moment in the history of chemistry. It challenged the established understanding of chemical kinetics and opened up a new field of study, nonlinear chemical dynamics. This field explores how chemical reactions can generate complex behaviors, such as oscillations and pattern formations, even from simple sets of reactions. The BZ reaction stands as a testament to the intricacies and surprises that the world of chemistry holds. It serves as a reminder that even in a field governed by precise laws and equations, there is room for unpredictability and marvel. This fascinating chemical ballet is a perfect segue into the complexities and wonders of the BZ reaction. Before we delve deeper, let's understand the science that powers this magical dance of chemicals. The Belousov-Zhabotinsky, or BZ reaction, is a chemical phenomenon that breaks the mold. It's an oscillating chemical reaction, meaning it cycles between different states without settling into a stable equilibrium. This oscillation is what creates the captivating patterns and color changes we see. So, what's happening in the BZ reaction? It's a complex chain of chemical reactions, but let's break it down. The primary players are a substrate containing bromine, an acid, and a metal ion catalyst, often cerium or furan. The reaction begins with the oxidation of malonic acid by bromate, in the presence of an acid. This produces bromomalonic acid in water. The bromomalonic acid then reacts with the catalyst, reducing it and releasing carbon dioxide. Here's where it gets fascinating. The reduced catalyst reacts with bromate to form bromide and returns the catalyst to its original state. This chain of reactions repeats, creating a continuous cycle. Now, the conditions of the reaction play a crucial role too. The reaction needs to be far from equilibrium to oscillate. If the reaction were near equilibrium, it would simply settle into a steady state. But because the reaction is far from equilibrium, it swings back and forth between different states, creating the oscillation we observe. Another key aspect is the concentration of the reactants. The concentration of bromate, for example, affects the frequency of the oscillations, while the concentration of the catalyst affects the amplitude. Temperature is also a significant factor. Higher temperatures increase the reaction rate, leading to faster oscillations. But if the temperature is too high, the reaction can become chaotic, with irregular oscillations. So, in essence, the BZ reaction is a symphony of a complex chain of chemical reactions. Each reactant and condition plays its part, coming together to create a stunning display of chemical kinetics in action. Now let's turn our attention to the mesmerizing patterns and oscillations that define the BZ reaction. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Belousov-Zhabotinsky, or BZ reaction, is the emergence of complex patterns and oscillations. These oscillations are not random. Instead, they are the consequence of the reaction's far from equilibrium conditions. Now you might be wondering, what does far from equilibrium mean? Simply put, it refers to a state where the reaction is not at rest but rather continually evolving and changing. In the case of the BZ reaction, these conditions lead to the formation of concentric waves of color, shifting from clear to amber to a deep cerulean blue. This color change is due to the oscillation of the oxidation state of the metal catalyst in the reaction, shifting between two states at a regular interval. This rhythmic shift is what creates the visible pattern we see. But the oscillations aren't just visual, they also occur at the molecular level. The reaction components continually react, then regenerate, creating a cyclic chemical process. It's like a chemical heartbeat, pulsing and keeping time. These spatiotemporal oscillations, the changing patterns in both space and time, are a fundamental feature of the BZ reaction. They're a testament to the reaction's dynamic nature and its ability to self-organize. The reaction doesn't just reach a static endpoint and stop. Instead, it keeps going, cycling through its stages, creating a never-ending dance of chemical transformation. But there's more than just beauty in these oscillations. They provide insight into other far-from-equilibrium systems, such as biological processes. Think about it. Our hearts beat, our lungs breathe, and our brains think, all thanks to the oscillations and patterns in our body's chemistry. So, the next time you gaze upon the swirling colors of the BZ reaction, remember this. You're not just looking at a chemical curiosity, you're witnessing a microscopic symphony, a display of nature's complex and beautiful rhythms. The dance of colors you see is a visual representation of these complex oscillations and patterns. In the BZ reaction, even minute changes can make a world of difference. Imagine the BZ reaction as a grand symphony. Each element plays a part like an instrument in an orchestra. The slightest change in one element, like the gentlest touch on a violin string, can alter the entire performance. In our case, the performance is the speed, pattern, and color oscillations of the reaction. Let's consider the role of external stimuli. These are like the conductor's baton, guiding the rhythm and tempo of the symphony. In a similar way, changes in temperature, pressure, or light can steer the course of the BZ reaction. A higher temperature, for example, can speed up the reaction, making it dance to a quicker beat. Meanwhile, a sudden change in pressure can disrupt the pattern formation, creating a new, unexpected melody. Now let's talk about the unsung heroes of our chemical symphony, the metal catalysts. They are the skilled musicians who breathe life into the score. In the BZ reaction, catalysts like ferroene or cerium can alter the color oscillations, creating a captivating visual spectacle. Ferroene, for instance, can induce a mesmerizing oscillation between a clear and a deep red solution. On the other hand, cerium can orchestrate a stunning transition from a colorless to a yellow solution. But the beauty of the BZ reaction lies not just in its visual appeal. It's the complex interplay of these factors that makes it a fascinating subject of study. Each factor is a knob that we can turn, a slider that we can adjust to influence the reaction's behavior. By carefully controlling these factors, we can coax the BZ reaction into revealing its secrets and in doing so, gain deeper insights into the nature of nonlinear chemical dynamics. In other words, tweaking these factors allows us to conduct the BZ reaction like an orchestra. So let the symphony play on, and let's continue to explore the captivating world of the Belousov-Zhabotinsky reaction. The BZ reaction isn't just a laboratory curiosity, it holds immense potential in various fields. This captivating chemical reaction, which oscillates between colors like a rhythmic dance, has potential applications that reach far beyond the confines of a lab. One exciting arena where the BZ reaction shows promise is in the development of biological machines. These are not your typical machines made of nuts and bolts. Rather, they're fluidic, organic systems that mimic the processes of living organisms. The oscillatory nature of the BZ reaction can be used to generate movement in soft robotic systems, creating actuators that flex and pulse, much like the muscles in our bodies. The BZ reaction can also be harnessed for information processing. Just as digital computers use binary code, a series of zeros and ones, to process information, chemical systems can use the oscillations of the BZ reaction as a form of chemical binary. These oscillations can be interpreted as on and off states, forming the basis of chemical logic gates. This could pave the way for a new generation of chemical computers, revolutionizing how we think about information processing. But the potential applications don't stop there. In the field of medicine, the BZ reaction could be utilized for controlled drug delivery systems. Imagine a future where medication is not just taken at set times, but instead it's released in a controlled manner, triggered by the oscillations of a BZ reaction. Such a system could provide a more effective, efficient way of delivering medication, enhancing its therapeutic effects while minimizing side effects. The BZ reaction is a testament to the intertwining beauty of chemistry, physics, and biology. It's a captivating spectacle of color change that's not just mesmerizing to watch, but also holds the key to groundbreaking innovations in a wide range of fields. From medicine to robotics, the BZ reaction could be a game changer. The possibilities are as vast and varied as the swirling patterns it creates, and we're only just beginning to scratch the surface of its potential. So, what have we learned about the BZ reaction today? We've journeyed through the captivating world of the Belousov-Zhabotinsky reaction, a mesmerizing display of oscillating colors and patterns. We've explored its discovery and historical significance, appreciating its unique role in the realm of nonlinear chemistry. We've delved into the kinetic mechanisms that govern this reaction and the complex interplay of chemical species that gives rise to its dynamic behavior. We've also seen how external factors can influence the BZ reaction, adding another layer of complexity to this fascinating system. From metal catalysts to environmental stimuli, we've learned how these elements can shape the reaction's course, but we didn't stop there. We also looked at the potential applications of the BZ reaction, from lab-on-a-chip devices to environmental sensing, showing us that this reaction has far-reaching implications beyond the lab. The BZ reaction, with its oscillating colors and patterns, serves as a vivid reminder of the beauty and complexity of chemistry.